I'm not going to open this letter live because I already have, as I was on the elevator coming here. But as soon as I opened it up, my mind went back to a little grass shack in Hawaii. No, it went back to my childhood, and I'll explain that in a second with an 11-second little blurb. So, one of the people that I uh, have as a viewer who is interested in buying pens from me, I asked him if he would be kind enough to send me examples of his writing so that I can better try to ascertain what kind of nib he wants or what kind of nib he already has. I don't want to send something that he already has if I can send something that's different. Now, sometimes you just want to have as many of one kind of pen as possible. Why is this nib doing what it's doing right now? It's not supposed to do that. How did it twist like that? So he said he would jump on, and maybe he will, maybe he won't. Anyway, so the envelope came in the mail. Here it is. Priority. Do not bend. Do not bend, please, with a smiley face. There's GoRo. So GoRo, when I opened this up and looked at it, this is what my mind went right back to my childhood. And there was a TV show called Rocky and Bullwinkle. And during a commercial, or just before a commercial, they would have a little cartoon, a little animated preamble to it. And this is what your envelope reminded me of.
Look, Bullwinkle, a message in a bowl. Fan mail from some flounder? No, this is what I really call a message.
We'll try that again. You can see why it makes sense.
Look, Bullwinkle, a message in a bowl. Fan mail from some flounder? No, this is what I really call a message.
So you understand where this is coming from. When I opened this up, it was essentially that. This is what I call a message. Now, I'm not going to zoom in and have you people, visitors, read the actual words that you're writing, but this is what I need to look at to decipher what the fuck I'm going to send you. There is something that looks like it's paper samples for Pure Gustafson. Look, you've already got Parker Lucky Curve. So now that we've gone through this, there's still more. I'll save this for later, just because who knows what you've written to me. So It's like my chest is constricting. I showed some of this to someone in the elevator, and she said, "Oh my God!" And I said, "Well, I've got thousands of pieces of paper just exactly like this in my house. This is not anything strange to me, anyway." So, would you like to now join me in this confidential working statement? Do not distribute. Well, I'll make sure not to read that, not to show that live. You know, I want sheets, fitted sheets, and a sheet for my bed and pillowcases to match this. I do. I'm not joking. I think this is really, really cool. I'm sure there's one of these pieces of paper that actually, like this one, that actually might contain thoughtful and directed information specifically for our purpose. But we can get to that if you tell me to do that. Meanwhile, I'm just loving looking at this. It is amazing. Look, there's a lot of space you forgot to fill up. In my hallway, I'm going to have a big warning sign in red letters. No piece of paper is safe with Pierre Gustafson around. Because I do this to every piece of paper I get. Um, I don't have a long time to chat right now, but I'm looking forward to having Goro tell me out loud which of these pieces of paper is the most important for me to understand, to read. Something just made a noise. I don't quite know what. There's GoRo and to stage. Okay.
Wonderful. How's it going? I see you got the chaos in
I
your mail.
got the chaos. It's
A lot, I know.
it's a lot. So we're going to go over first of all, and I'm just going to say, is this something I need to pay fully attention to, or just maybe this part? See, now that's something I need to know.
So that should be that's like the most I guess that's the range of my most flexible nib. With it should have the ink there written too and the
Yeah.
paper. So the main thing that I just want you to notice is like the way the pen's nib and ink changes across various papers and how the line variations impacted. Now I
And
probably
I'm not going to be able to. I do understand why you're giving me this information, but I don't know whether the paper. I can sense that the paper is beautiful, and I can write on it with my own pen to say I can see how you got it so thin on this one, and you didn't get it thin on the other one because of the paper difference. So that comes in handy to know.
I mean, like the words itself doesn't really matter. I can really just give you more of a bullet point of what I'm looking for. This is kind of just to show you what my hand's like at times. Now, I know I sent you a few copies of like me editing my novel. I think that's where you'll see my most. Yeah, that's like my most like workflow writing. The other is basically just me like writing out random like bullshit. It's literally nonsensical at times. There might be a few areas that are like boldly written that'll give you a bit of a taste of either the paper, the pen, or something about the writing process to that nib.
No.
But yeah, you mostly don't really have to pay attention. I think that might be one of those pages you can skim. You might garner a bit of information from there.
Well, I'm not going to be able to focus on it until next week.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, there's no right. It's whenever you get your time.
But I do see that you have lots of different kinds of writing styles.
Yeah.
Use one kind of script. You don't use one size. Sometimes you write very tiny. Sometimes you write bigger. So that's important to know that you might end up getting a pen from me that you love writing big in, but not writing small, but you really like writing big. So again, probably one pen will not do everything you want it to do, nor would you want it to do everything.
Yeah.
But one of the things you did mention recently to me is wanting a number 55 size pen.
Yeah, around like a 5 size nib. And
I don't know what I have for that in Waterman that I can sell because I don't really have that many number 5s.
Okay.
But a Parker Dual Fold Senior is essentially the size of that. So I might be able to find a Parker Dual Fold Senior with a flexible nib of some sort. It might be the Vacuumatic nib, the large Vacuumatic nib, rather than the Parker Dual Fold nib.
Okay.
And they were the official replacement nibs that Parker put in the pens if someone needed a replacement. Because, by the time someone brought in their dual fold to get a new nib,
Uh-huh.
the dual folds might have been out of production for
Yeah.
a decade. So the Parker Vacuumatic, the large Parker Vacuumatic nibs were the ones that were put in place. And I don't often use Parker dual folds much for drawing or writing.
Uh-huh.
I sometimes use their bodies to fit Victorian dip nibs in, but I probably will have or can find a number of a senior sized Parker dual fold
Yeah,
with
I do want to check.
with a flexible nib that I might be willing to sell you. So that's rather than a number 5 Waterman, because again, I don't have that many of them. So
I mean, if you have one that you find that you're willing to part with, consider it. I won't like hound you on it. It's on you, Pierre, right?
yeah, okay. There
But yeah,
are
I'm also looking theoretically for maybe a 1 or 2 size 2 Watermans. Because I do want like at least one pen that has a similar range to that what you've seen on the Waterman 12 I have.
yeah.
Just because I love the flex. I like the range. I like it when I can go from extra fine to quadruple broad.
It is great to have a pen that can do that, and I may have some that are similar to what you already
Okay.
have. I don't know whether you want something that's similar to what you already have, but if I were to use that 12 that you have already,
Mm-hmm.
is it something you want that starts out thinner, or one that gets broader, or what is the?
So I think the one thing I've noticed is that when I use my my pilot inks, my Iroshizuku inks, everything goes up by about like a nib size or even 2 nib sizes. So like the Waterman 12 with that one writes basically like a heavy medium.
Okay.
And there should be an example of the Asagao somewhere in there.
There might be. The thing is, though, when you so these other inks are wetter, is that it? Or they bleed more, or they feather more, or what?
So
Blow more?
the Japanese inks tend to bleed a lot more and feather, especially in lower quality paper.
Yeah. So why do you use them?
So I use them because
I sound like Judge Judy. Like,
no, you're fine.
So why do you use the fucking inks? Like them?
Because I've noticed that they tend to fade out much less over the years.
Okay.
I used to use Parker's Quink Blue almost exclusively for years. And then I found one of these Iroshizuku inks, and then I just kind of fell in love with them because they don't end up fading as much.
Okay.
So it helps with the notes. That's the main. And the reason I keep asking for a pen that has a broad range is because that tends to help with the paper quality. So when I'm writing on, worse papers for fountain pens, I can give a very light hand and like actually get a decent line on there that works.
Okay.
So like there should be an example of moleskin paper in there somewhere. That's quite thin.
Yeah, no, I just had it here.
So yeah, that's like probably about
with some of your ink that you just talked about.
Yeah. So that's all the Iroshizuku. That's the Lucky Curve, the broad flexible. So it's basically a flexible stub. I made sure to give you the Kirasame. That's the other one I use. I've also made sure to give you samples that you can test out your inks or the nibs on with whatever that paper, so you just have a feel for the nibs
Yeah.
on the paper. I've found that they're all pretty safe. I really haven't had issues with like paper quality where like anything gets caught yet.
Well,
Uh,
it all seems hard. It's not fibrous, so I'm
yeah,
not worried about anything um, necessarily happening to the pen nibs. Again, it just all depends on. Certainly the ink you just had mentioned is is thicker or makes a thicker line
yeah.
than.
So I mean, I
But
can show you right now. I have it
oh,
filled.
you're able to show me, but I'm sure that uh, this was written with all the same pen. When you say that, is that all of this was with one?
Not all of it. Anything with the that tends to have script. So that what does that say? This is the oblique. So what's written on the right, in the sapphire blue,
Okay,
on the right, that's the Mont Blanc.
okay,
What's written there, I believe that's the Ackerman ink with the Waterman 12.
okay.
The yellow should be another Mont Blanc stiff nib, oblique, a double broad.
Yeah, yeah.
The
I see that you've written out all of these things on here.
yeah,
Um, well, I'm sure that when I get the Bexley Park code breakers working on this, I'll be able to understand exactly what it is you're doing. Um, uh, no, I mean, you do seem to have, when you want to, have a very fine line.
yeah.
Um, it's just, when I see you, with the things you've shown me live here, always seem like you're writing almost with a blunt Sharpie. It's so dense that, but I can see that you do
Ease up.
ease up a bit, so that's always good to know. Um, yeah. Um, well, this is really interesting. So, what I'll do, I need to get back to my hallway here, but hang more pieces. But what I will do is on Tuesday, when I'm finally done with this nightmare of
Okay.
Open Studios, I'll take a look to see what I have in the way of a Parker duofold senior size, or senior, that I can see if I have a flexible vacuumatic nib. I also think maybe you can. I can maybe provide you with a Franken pen with a Victorian nib
hmm
in it, because I think I'm not afraid of you breaking it,
That
like I said,
honors.
like I sometimes fear when I see writing that looks so aggressive, but yeah, or so bold and so pressured that I think, oh my God, it's gonna snap on you. So, but I see that you can lighten up, and you do know that, seeing that, that page full of curlicues and ins and outs and ups and downs, this kind of stuff makes me know that, you're not pressing down on the wrong part. Not that I ever doubted you, but there was something again about seeing you hold the pen a little bit more vertically, and that might have been just the camera angle, not anything else. So, but what I'll do is take a look at this.
So, Pierre,
Yeah.
so today I'm actually picking up, well, it's supposed to be a pen case, but I'm picking up a few mechanical pencils. I'll write you an email detailing what's in it and send you some photo. But the pen I'm picking up might end up being an interesting body. I'll send you photos and more details about it once I get it in my hand.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I just want to let you know we could theoretically even use that for a Frankenpen, or if you're interested, we can use it in as like some sort of trade-in value or whatever.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll get to talking about this next week. I just wanted to have you see this now. Now, this letter that looks like it's typewritten. Was it typewritten?
Yeah, that was my typewriter, my Royal.
It doesn't seem to. I guess I feel some of the periods going through.
It's a good keyboard.
Good. I have a collection of typewriters, as I think I told you.
Yeah, you did. I figured you'd get it.
And I'm very, very keen on getting rid of them. I'd probably keep a few, but I used to type on them, but I haven't in decades. And I know that there are people that really love the damn things. But again, I tried to give one away for free, and no one was interested. So
it's a bit of a cult. I feel like everyone runs after like the one or two brand names, like an Hermes, or like your
the Olivetti red one, the Valentine.
Yeah, they run after the name brands and they kind of forget the rest.
Well, I mean, name brand is Remington and Corona and all the other ones. They're perfectly good too. It's just I think most of the people tend to like the portables rather than the clunky ones that were built to inhibit theft, because you weren't going to run down the street with a 20-pound cast iron Smith Corona, So
I mean, even some of these portals are pretty clunky.
They are pretty clunky, but anyway. So let's talk later. And,
Okay.
Thank you for jumping on.
No worries.
And I just wanted to let you know that it's here. And again, fan mail from a flounder.
I hope you enjoyed the letter.
I will when I read the letter. I haven't read the typewritten letter yet, but we'll go back to this one more time.
Look, Bullwinkle, a message in a bottle. Fan mail from some flounder? No, this is what I really call a message.
Perfect.
It's perfect. It's quite literally perfect.
Okay. Well, thank you, Goro.
Okay.
See you later.
It was good talking to you.
I didn't realize that message came with its own boat. So it's perfect. It's from you.
This is perfect.
Go row your boat. Bye.
All right. Bye, Pierre.